How would you like it if you'd be able to sample your favorite kick from your favorite track from anywhere? Get a clean sounding kick from the middle of a track that you like is actually possible. Here's a trick that I did not invent myself, but that I've used to great effect. I'm going to show it to you now. First, you need to find the cleanest kick possible from your track. There's always some point in the track where the kick is the cleanest, right? And since everybody's using sidechain these days anyway, most kicks sound pretty clean. You'll always have a little noise or a synthesizer or a bass on top of it or hi-hats or anything, but I'll show you a very easy way to get rid of those. So let's say this is our track, right? I definitely like the kick in this track and I want to sample it. So let's see if I can find a spot where the kick is the cleanest. I think it's somewhere over here. This is the point, I think. Because after this, the higher top synth comes back. This is it. So I'm going to sample this first. Render it down, bounce it down. Add it to the project also. Let's call this kick render. There you go. Should be in my project now, all the way at the bottom. I've done it before today, so there's actually 2 in there now. But I'm just going to add the latest one that I just bounced down. Place it over here, and here it is. Turn off my limiter. Okay. This is it. This is the part that I want to sample. I think this is the cleanest opportunity I have to sample this kick. So let's first define the kick. It's somewhere around this. I can leave this. Maybe a little longer even. Oops. That should do it. What I'm going to do now is split this sound into 3 different parts. So I'm going to create 2 new tracks and just copy the kick over there. And what you need to understand is that the kick is built out of 3 main parts. The transient, the initial transient, the click, and there's the body of the kick. And the tail of the kick, the part that rings out a bit. I think I can actually take the hi-hat out that enters here. So I'm going to split this sound into these 3 parts. It's very important that I get an exact cut on all 3. So I'm going to use the scissors, select all 3, cut out the transient. There you go. Cut out the body. And what's left is the tail. So on the first track, I'm going to cut everything but the transient out. On the second track, going to delete everything but the body, and on the third track I'm left with the tail. Okay, so if I've done this correctly, I should be left with a kick without any clicks at the cut. Sounds pretty good, but of course I can still hear all the noise and the synthesizer on top of the kick. I'm going to take those out. On the tail part, I'm going to insert an EQ, take out the low cut that I have in there as standard, and just roll off all the high end till I'm left with as little of that stuff as possible. I'm going to do the same thing with the body. Again, no low cuts there. That's just the body. And this part here is just the click, the initial click of the kick. If I play these 3 together, it sounds pretty good already, but I can now go into the mixer and fine-tune this a bit. First of all, I think the body can get away with a little less high cut. And maybe the click, the transient, can be a little lower in the mix. And the tail can use a little more high cut. All together now. So there you go. There you have it. This is a clean, usable kick straight from the track. I can now maybe send this to, let's say, this aux here. Use a little compression on there. Another thing I can do is use a little fade on the tail, just to make sure that it's clean. And there you go, sample a kick from anywhere.